So today's video is going to be paper notes versus digital revision PowerPoints. The point of this video is to compare good old-fashioned to notes to the modern revision PowerPoint. Me for a while, I swear by my revision PowerPoints and I write it out till I can basically recite it. But recently I started doing like handwritten notes and my maps and all that kind of jazz. So we're going to do the big old-fashioned comparison of handwritten notes to digital revision PowerPoints. I'm going to kind of bias because I've done revision PowerPoints for longer than I've done my maps. Forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Let's get straight into it. So now it's time to set the scene. Started doing revision PowerPoints when I first started thinking about revision techniques. And for science I was thinking, I've got no idea how to revise. I'm not the best at science, so I'm kind of struggling here to think of an idea. I have no idea how to revise, but I'm also good at making PowerPoints and I need a method to revise, so I tried it and it worked well and my results got better. And then realised that in lessons I do make notes. I also, on paper, I do my essays on paper and my maps are done on paper. So with digital PowerPoints is a good way to keep everything in place without carrying around folders. It can be stored on your computer. There's stuff like Google Drive, OneDrive, that kind of thing. So revision PowerPoints can be aesthetically pleasing once you know how it can be really easy to make aesthetically pleasing. Thoughts on paper notes. As much as I do them in a refill pad, my refill pad lives in my folder, so I'm still carrying around on a folder, and also there's the loose sheets that live in a folder. I know paper notes can be, if you put in the time, it can be aesthetically pleasing, but it does take a long time. You really don't want to spend too long making revision resources and notes. Point about digital notes is they have the wow factor. They make people go, wow. I know that's not really a factor when revising, but just thought I'd throw that in, and it can be done really quickly. I do it quite quickly. So you can keep your revision PowerPoints in one place, whereas paper notes, to keep them in one place, you need to file them away. They can be easy to lose. I know digital PowerPoints can get lost, but they're not quite as easy to lose. Do revision PowerPoints on a computer because I find PowerPoint the easiest on a computer. If you want to know how I make my revision PowerPoints, then I can do a video on that. So the things you can do, these are just some of the things I will if I do an in-depth video, really go into detail on it. Shape outline, shape fill, text box, word art, transitions, animation, text shadow, text fill, all that kind of stuff, even picture frames. The first thing I'm going to talk about is easy to write or type. Which one's easier? I find typing in terms, I can do it much quicker than I can write. I find my hand doesn't hurt when I type. When I write, you can get a sore hand. Typing's easier because I can do it quicker than I can write. When I write really fast, it's really not legible, which is what you want it to be, is legible. So. And also some of the slightly annoying niggly things is pencils can break or pens can run out of ink, but also with the computer it can run out of power, so they both have their niggles. Also the ink can smudge. Ink can be satisfying. I do lose track of time when I handwrite, which is why I enjoy handwriting, but there again I'm a faster typer than writer, so sometimes it's more convenient. Something I find satisfying, but I can't really pin it down, to be honest. Point that it's going to sound weird. Fresh sheet of paper just feels nice and satisfying. Now we're going to talk about in detail aesthetics. Watch me for all you might know. I do things quite aesthetic. Anyway, points have so many colours. and there are loads of backgrounds to choose from. I like the colours, so I do like use loads of colour. Even when doing paper notes, I sometimes do use quite a bit of colour. So on a computer you can do a backspace rather than having to cross it out, which can be annoying when you've got to cross it out because it can look a bit messy. Next thing I'm going to talk about is speed. I find typing, making digital revision PowerPoints can be much quicker than writing, but you still keep it legible. So if I write fast, it can be very unlegible. The PowerPoint is that you can also copy and paste images, whereas paper notes you have to print them, the image can't stick, or draw it, which can be a bit of a faff because I'm not the best drawer. With PowerPoint you can move a text box around, whereas paper you can't change it, you just have to start again basically. Be careful with paper notes because you'll end up with stuff everywhere. Next we have to talk about memorization. How easy is it to memorize? I find handwriting and digital notes together help with revision. To present the information in an inviting way, making you more motivated to revise. How it helps to memorize, like just writing it out, and I find a combination works for me. How you can never run out of slides, whereas you can run out of space on a paper and things get squashed and you can't always read them. Next is organisation. I find PowerPoint stay in one place on the computer, whereas with paper you've got to organise them, file them, have dividers, all that jazz. For notes I put them in a folder, I use dividers, folder organisation videos on my channel. Thought I'd throw this in is screen headaches. In day-to-day life we look at a screen a lot, I know I do. Headaches at like the front of my head. That's how I know it's a screen headache. And my eyes can be quite sore. Thought I'd just point that out. Next we're going to talk about everyone's favourite, convenience. The computer has a keyboard, so you don't need loads of pens. To make paper notes you have to carry around paper, pens, folder. Why digital notes are more convenient? Because you can just keep them all in one place and take them wherever you go. But with a computer, running out of batteries are convenient, especially if it runs out and you're not near a socket. You are kind of a bit screwed, but you can also run out of paper, so you do need to make sure enough portability. Computers can be very portable, carrying around in a bag, case, things in one place. Paper you have to carry around big folders, so it can be heavy. Safety. Losing revision resources is the worst thing because you have to do them again. I know losing them is not the end of the world because you can just do them again, but it is annoying, and losing notes waste time in fact to redo them again, which takes time. I know you can back up stuff, which I suggest doing. Backing up stuff's key. Important to get good at it from early on, backing up your notes, which I do struggle with. For convenience, organisation, everything's in one place. I find with paper notes I use a refill pad and a notebook to keep my notes in one place, which is important so you don't use them. And finally we're going to talk about distractions. I think if you're careful when making revision PowerPoints, distractions will not be an issue, but discipline is key. Doing important notifications, paper notes, I get the distractions aren't so high, even though, because you're only like copying something from a screen, looking at a lecture if you go to uni, but there is separation in a way. But no matter what notes you do, you still need to learn to deal with distractions. And the very final one is cost. Obviously computers, depending on what sort, can be quite expensive, and it will be like a one-time investment. I know paper, pens, folders are cheaper, but you still have to buy them. Paper runs out, pens run out, need replacing. Folders get full, so you then need to replace them. At the end of the day, it's up to you. So this was my comparison. I prefer revision PowerPoints because it's easy, it keeps it legible. But I do like both. So I hope you enjoy it, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.